Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. Two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during the 16-game season era. Clap it up for Mr. Deuce Pick Six in the house, man. Sunday Night Vibes, man, we got a lot to talk about. PS5, Game Fanatic, man, I see y'all in the chat, man. Y'all talk to us, we talk back, man. Hey, you know my career, man, it had a lot. Hey, man, it's a lot to talk about with my career. We're going to, one day we're going to do a deep dive to all the people that don't know about my career and the things that I have done and how many times I led the NFL in interceptions and things like that. But that's a different story because we have to talk about, what are we in, week 4, week 3? Week 3. We got to react to these games and what we think, man. Some exciting football. We have 4 blocked field goals this weekend, along with some mediocre play. Let me just say mediocre play. You know what I mean? But had some exciting football. Games came down to the wire. Went down to the wire. I meant the last kick came down to the last few seconds, man. So, man, let me bring on my co-host for the night, man. 2-3 Drees.
What's up, baby? We back for week 3. Let's go.
Man, we are back week 3, man. These weeks are, they coming, man. They coming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Football going to be over with, and we're going to be like, man, where's football? We're bored, and life is crazy. So you better enjoy it while it's here.
Mm-hmm.
Stay up late nights and watch these games and get it in, man, because we don't know, man. This is a different type of season, man. You don't really understand who will be good and who will be the last team standing. But I made my predictions, and of course, I made my predictions as the Chargers and the Eagles will make it to the Super Bowl, and the Chargers go out here and look crazy and straight embarrassing me. As soon as I say they are going to make it to the Super Bowl. But man, we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New York Giants tonight, man. If, Patrick Mahomes out there against Russell Wilson, how did they look, man? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes isn't looking like the old Patrick Mahomes we used to seeing. I don't know what's getting into Patrick Mahomes. PH.
Are you worried about Patrick Mahomes right now?
I mean, I'm worried about the progress in players. I like to see what players can do for their career, man. I'm not. Mm-hmm. If he can beat everybody in NFL and win the Super Bowl, have my hats off to him. The best man win, man. At the end of the day, the best man win. But I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you think?
Go ahead. I think what?
Do you think the Kansas City Chiefs can beat the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, they just didn't. No, I don't think so. I think they okay, man. I think they definitely. I still confident in them going to make the playoffs and make their run. Not like a Super Bowl contender right now, no, but they're going to get their pieces back, and I feel like they're going to be okay. They're just like going through this little stretch right now.
I totally 100% disagree. I think this may be the first season that Patrick Mahomes do not make it to the playoffs. I don't know what's going on with this team right now, but I don't think Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs will make it to the playoffs this season. I don't know. He's near as accurate as he used to be, man, a couple of seasons ago, man. Something is off about Patrick Mahomes and the way he's playing, and his accuracy has nothing to do with him not having his weapons. So you can't blame it on that. It's just him not putting the ball in the spots that it need to be. He was off on a few passes. I mean, passes that, he makes in his sleep 2 or 3 years ago. And then you can see the frustration in Coach Andy Reid on the sidelines, not understanding what the hell is going on with his star players between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was about to bring up right now. Like, a lot of them plays that we so used to them making, and they look like so much out of sync right now. I don't know what's up with them, man.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, everybody's making a big fuss about Big Red on the sideline. Seems like he's chirping at his quarterback or chirping at Travis Kelce. But when Big Red goes to give one of his players that belly bump, he is just a little frustrated. And that's his way of trying to fire his players up. He's not the yelling type to go out there and screaming and make a big production. So don't take that out of context with him going to these players and, getting in their ear and bumping into them and things like that. That's the way Coach Big Red, man. That's the way Big Red shows his love to his players. Like, I need you, man. Show up, step up. You know?
Mhm. Man, that
But
that defense, they still got a top defense. I feel like that defense will still carry them until their boys get back, man. It's week 3. They gonna find they sink. They making the playoffs. I cannot imagine the NFL without Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
that's what I'm trying to explain right now. It's looking like that it may happen this season. Patrick Mahomes will not make it to the playoffs this season. I'm telling you, with the Broncos and the Chargers in the same division, the Broncos and the Chargers are playing very, very good football on defense. When you playing good ball on defense, man, you always have a chance to win. Yes, Kansas City, they're playing really good ball on defense as well, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility that they may not make it from what we're seeing. Not just this year, it's last season too. Even though they made it to the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes still isn't like what we're used to seeing. Now, when it comes to the fourth quarter, things get a little different for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes feels that pressure. He feels that it's time to win. It's time for him to take over the game. And you can see when the fourth quarter came, he let that winning mentality take over, and he started striking and taking the lead. That's what you look for in your quarterback.
Do you think that Tyquan Thornton could be that number 1 receiver, that deep that Mahomes need? Because he been catching a lot of them deep balls for him, and
he did show up. He did show up. He did do a pretty good job. I mean, honestly, with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, if you got a little speed and you can catch the ball, he can turn any wide receiver into like a number 1 threat. Obviously, Thornton, man, he showed up big today. And that's what you got to do in absence of the other big play threats like Xavier Worthy, right? That's how you make a name for yourself and get a chance to have a long career in the NFL. So, man, with Patrick Mahomes, anything is possible, and that's how people make a name for themselves in NFL. Something happens, that player comes in and he steps up. You had no clue that this player can make these type of plays just because they haven't had their chance. A lot of players get these opportunities because of injuries or misfortunes and things like that. But you can see that winning trait that Patrick Mahomes has. And all these quarterbacks don't have that winning trait. I mean, you can see Patrick Mahomes had that winning trait in the fourth quarter. He step up, man.
For real, you never count him out.
Yeah,
I'm taking a look at their schedule right now. The Chiefs got a tough schedule coming up, so that playoffs might be on the line, man. They got the Ravens next, and then they got the Jags, which is the Jags, and then they got the Lions. They got the Lions after that. Raiders divisional game, Commanders, the Bills, Broncos. So the Colts,
it's not going to be easy, man. It's not going to be easy as it was in the past. I'm telling you, man. And with the Broncos and the Chargers, they faced off today. The Chargers end up, getting that victory, but it was a physical, really good game. Obviously, divisional games are always really good games because these opponents know each other well. But I'm telling you, Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers, they may both come before the Kansas City Chiefs into in the division. They might be 1 and 2, and Kansas City Chiefs might end up 3. I'm telling you, man.
We got to write this down. Make sure y'all taking notes.
Bo Nix just needs to play a little bit better. I know last season everyone thinks he's made it and he's a legit NFL starting quarterback. I still don't see it in Bo Nix. Bo Nix is the X factor for the Broncos. If Bo Nix had if he had any type of elite player, or if he plays elite football, the Denver Broncos really has a good shot at playing ladder into the season. That defense is a very, very good defense.
Definitely is.
It's a very good defense. But both winners, man, they turned it on in the fourth quarter today, and that's what it's about. It's not about those pretty stats, throwing for 500,000 yards and things like that. It's about in the fourth quarter, if the game is on the line and we need a touchdown, or we need to make a few first downs to run the clock out. Can my quarterback win the game for me? And that's what happened tonight or today with Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. They both won the game today in the fourth quarter. They both are winners. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl last season.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? But like I said, man, I don't know if Patrick Mahomes will make it to the playoffs this season. Mahomes has to have a lot of endurance in him, man. If he want to try to dethrone Tom Brady as the GOAT, he has to have more endurance than what I'm seeing. He can't be descending.
Got a long way to go.
He can't be descending this early in his career if he's trying to dethrone Tom Brady to GOAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tom Brady played for 20 seasons. 20 plus seasons. How many seasons did Tom Brady play? Am I getting it right?
I think it's 20.
It's 20 seasons, something like that. It's right there. I don't know if it's 19 or 21 or 20. It's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick Mahomes is only in his 7th season. And I don't know if he's getting better or he's maxed out and peaked out and he's staying level or he's starting to descend a little bit.
Man, but at this point, Brady was just getting started at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Brady was just getting started. It's just getting rolling. I think he had been to 3 or 4 Super Bowls. He probably had, 1, 2, or 3 at this point in his career.
Mm.
Yeah. If Mahomes doesn't surpass Brady in Super Bowl wins or appearances, I don't think nobody will. I don't think there'll be another player that come in the NFL that could surpass Tom Brady in Super Bowl wins and appearances if Patrick Mahomes doesn't do it. Patrick Mahomes is the last shot, man. He's the last shot.
Yeah, I can't even. 7 Super Bowls is a lot of Super Bowls. And he's been to 9. That's a lot. Like it's franchises that never been to 1. And
you don't understand how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. There are so many games, so many obstacles that you have to overcome. Adversity is going to hit left and right. There's so many challenges that you face to win a Super Bowl. I mean, I'm talking about dealing with the weather. From the chartering flights. I mean, from where you're staying in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just the start of, not in the Super Bowl, away games and things like that. There's just so many things that come into play that you have no clue about. The meals, the pregame meals and things like that. Someone may get sick eating during the pregame meal. There's all type of adversity and things you have to deal with to overcome to make it way to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So it's not the easiest thing. So when you're talking about winning 7 Super Bowls, man, whoo. Obviously, man, he did that over a 20-year period. That's the only takeaway from it, which is not really a takeaway. It's just saying like it took longevity to get those 7 Super Bowls.
Man, it's franchises out here that been out.
That's what I'm saying with Patrick Mahomes. He got to have a lot more endurance than what he's showing right now if he wants to get that 7+ wins and in the Super Bowl.
You think Patrick Mahomes would play that long?
From what I'm hearing, it seems like this is what all the quarterbacks are chasing these days. They want to play 18, 15, 18, 20 plus years and try to achieve greatness. That's what I think they all are chasing these days, Since Brady did it. I mean, Brady wasn't the first person to do it. Brady was that one quarterback that was older to do it and win the Super Bowl. But before Brady, I think it was Brett Favre. Brett Favre did it at a high level. And you had the Joe Montanas, the Steve Youngs, and things like that. But no one did it like Brady. And going to a different team, oh, man, I can't say that enough, But we got Russell Wilson, man. Russell Wilson, on the other hand, what are the New York Giants doing? Brian Daboll with Russell Wilson. This was a bad idea from the beginning of the season. It's just a lack of talent of quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't know what is going on, how they're going to fix this, but there is just a lack of talent of quarterbacks in the NFL. And Russell Wilson is out here playing backyard football. That's all Russell Wilson is doing these days. He is back here throwing the football as high as he possibly can, these high hospital footballs, and they're landing with the opposite team. It's not going to his the right team. It's not going to his teammates. It's like you throwing these high looping hospital balls. Thank God nobody's getting their head taken off from, and they're not going to his teammates. They're going to the opposite team. Like, what is Russell Wilson doing? It's literally like he's just going out there having fun. Like, I see someone down there, I'm going to throw it up.
Throw it up.
Let me see if they can make a play. And they're not making the play. The other team is making the play. And I don't know, man. I don't know what Brian Daboll is doing with Russell Wilson. Daboll can't feel comfortable with Jackson Dart if he's still holding on, holding him back from the football field and still playing Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson threw for 160 yards off 18 completions. Sounds all right? But he had a total of 96 yards before 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He had a total of 96 yards passing before 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Absolutely horrible. It was a bunch of looping high hospital balls. And when he wasn't throwing those type of balls, he was throwing a lot of check downs. And it's just a mess. It was just looking like a mess.
Don't forget about the two interceptions too. He threw 2 of those.
That's the looping high hospital balls. It was like, if you know how to catch punts, you can fair catch. You basically fair catch his looping high hospital balls, But I heard someone making comments about Jackson Dart and sitting back and getting to learn from Russell Wilson and things like that. And it's like anyone who thinks Jackson Dart sitting back and learning from Russell Wilson is a good idea is absolutely crazy.
He learned what not to do.
I see. That's exactly what you need to learn from Russell Wilson. Learn what not to do, man. Don't think he's going to be teaching you anything constructive that's going to help the career. Maybe in the classroom or how to read defense or something like that. But yeah, man, Russell Wilson, that's a lost cause over there, man. I don't know what Brian Daboll is doing with Russell Wilson.
Lack
of talent in the NFL with these quarterbacks, man. That's all I see.
They put Jackson Dart in to do the read option, like 2 plays in a row, end up getting some yards, and then they put Russell Wilson in. They ran the same exact play. He tripped and fell. I'm like, oh man,
yeah. It's like putting them in, Jackson Dart putting them in for 2 plays and letting them get a few reps and things like that, and running the option play, you call the option play. I see that as a confidence killer. Like, that's not building up the confidence for that player. Like, I only can send you in the game to let you do a option play or a run play. You know what I mean? Like, the psychological effect of that, But maybe Daboll knows something that we don't know, and maybe he thinks Jackson Dart isn't ready, and I don't know. But it just doesn't make any sense. And it's like you're trying to please someone by putting them in the game, and it's kind of pointless to play you're running with them. But poor Malik Neighbors, man, he need a quarterback bad, man. We do not want to see this talent be wasted in New York without him having a great quarterback. Ain't no telling what type of records he could break, and what type of entertainment he would provide for us with the elite quarterback over there, man. And I want to see what he can do. I don't know if Russell Wilson can provide that for Malik Neighbors. So I want to see Jackson Dart, man. A lot of these young quarterbacks, like I said, it's just a lack of talent, man, and they keep recycling these older quarterbacks, and it's just time to move on and start fresh. Just build, man. Just build.
This Russell Wilson this might be his last year.
Yeah. I think he could survive as a backup for a while. He definitely could survive as a backup. But him being a starter and teams depending on him to lead their team, I think, like you said, this is the last season of that. He got away with Brian Daboll. I don't know, man. Brian Daboll signed Jameis Winston. He signed Russell Wilson. And then he drafted Jackson Dart. So he's all over the place. These coaches don't know what they want to do.
Jameis Winston, he's cool with being a backup, but I don't know if Russ is going to be okay with being a backup. I don't know if he would accept that role, especially how he went to Denver. He demanded so much stuff from Denver, and I know it was 2 years off of that, but I don't know. I can see Russell Wilson accepting that role unless he really ain't getting no calls at the end of the day.
Exactly. Sometimes, we all have to accept reality in life. We can't, we only get asked for what we want when we have the leverage. Sometimes you say, hey, Let me get my little paycheck. I understand, and I ain't gonna cause no issues. That reality set in, man. When no one ain't calling you to be the starter, you decide if you want to get paid, continue to get paid or not. And if the backup, being a backup is, do you want this to be a part of your resume? I think he will. If he could get at least $5, $6, $7 million, why not? You know? But the Rams versus the Eagles, man, the game of the week, or is the game of the day? It's the game of the week, man. What did this game end up being? 33-26. Eagles get the victory. Let's go.
Sir.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Yes,
So,
sir, man. Give you a heart attack.
This game here was nothing less than two very physical teams, trying to advance to get a victory. I mean, two very physical teams. And I don't know if the Eagles is the more physical team. It's possible the Rams may be the more physical team out of the Eagles and the Rams. Might be the most physical team in the NFL. They both playing pretty good, really good defense. But the Eagles got that blocked field goal, man, to get the go-ahead, win, man. That's how we do it as an Eagle. Eagles block that field goal, man, to get that game winning, get that game sealed up.
Yeah, you was talking about physical.
Feel out there, huh?
No, you was talking about how physical the Rams, man. Jared Verse really is a beast out there. Like, you put him anywhere on the field, he'll get after the quarterback, fighting off blocks. And you was talking about before, like Michael Parsons and him. The difference is, like, he'll go crash down on the run and stop the run too. But man, he always gives Jalen Hurts problems.
Defensive end.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Jared Verse, even though he's like he hate Eagles fans and all that stuff. I like him, man. I love his play. He's a dog.
Yeah, he's definitely a dog, man. He's definitely a dog. And he's part of the reason the Rams play physical like that on defense. And they run the ball. But hey, it's out of the Browns, the Eagles, and the Rams. I don't know who else, man. Who's out? The Chargers as well. I don't know how long the Chargers will last being this good on defense, right? They're very physical, they're very athletic on defense right now. As the season goes along and continues, we'll see who continues. So that's about 4 teams, man, playing really good ball on defense. Yeah, but here it goes for the Eagles, man. For the Eagles, for all the Eagle fans out there, the Eagle lovers, expect a lot of close games. Expect a lot of close games for the Eagles. Don't expect the Eagles to be out here blowing teams out left and right, because they look to play physical, run the ball, physical, mistake-free football, and win the game in the second half. That's the key to success for the Philadelphia Eagles. Win the game in the second half, and it seems as if they're playing conservative and holding back on the offensive side of the football. And if you heard after the game interviews between from A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, you'll see that these players, they're not too fond of this, conservative stuff. But the fact that they're winning is nothing you can say, The quarterback job is to just win the freaking game. The head coach job, the quarterback job, just win the freaking game, right? Like I say, all the beautiful stats doesn't matter when you're talking about quarterbacks who are elite. Quarterbacks that are elite, they win football games. Then they win championships, right? Just win the game.
Eagles was down 26-7 in the third quarter. Did you think they had a chance to come back and make that play with Jalen Hurts at quarterback and how they play?
Honestly, man, I'm always looking for the resilience in the team and the player, right? So as this is happening, I'm waiting for the chance and opportunity for Jalen Hurts to get on offense to see what he can do and see if he has a chance to silence the critics, showing them that he can come back, not being able to use the tush push and use his legs and just run down the clock by being a physical team, being that he has to pass the ball and make the correct reads and the correct throws. So I was happy that, this game kind of played out this way against a very good Los Angeles Rams football team, right? And it was just another point that Jalen Hurts continues to go out here and prove the critics wrong. Like, I'm doing it in each and every way. However it needs to be done to win the game, I'm showing you that I can do it. The first half, we was behind, we was down a little bit. I don't remember what the Eagles was down for, like they was trailing, right? For
Yeah,
in the
it was
game.
19-7 at halftime, and then the Rams came
19-7
out.
at
They
halftime,
came out in
right?
the third. Yeah, they scored right before the half. They came out in the
Right.
third and scored again, so they went up 26-7.
Right. So it was like 19-7 and a half, first half, Eagles offense, man. It was, very conservative. Really couldn't get anything going, right? So it was looking like, what's really happening out here. And then boom, that second half came, and then like I said, same thing with Patrick Mahomes. That winning mentality kicks in. You understand the pressure. The time is ticking, and it's time to make some plays to contribute and win the game, And the Rams defense, man, we talking about Jared Verse and how physical the Rams defense is. The Rams defense held the Eagles to a total of 86 yards rushing. Understand that. The Rams defense held the Eagles to a total of 86 yards rushing. Total for the whole team, everyone. Anyone that rushed had a rushing attempt. There was only two people. That was Saquon Barkley with 46. Only two people that got positive yards. And that was Saquon Barkley with 46 yards total rushing. Then you got obviously Jalen Hurts with 40 yards total rushing. So the Rams actually won the game statistically. They did a great job being the more physical team when it comes to running the ball and stopping the physicals. I mean, the Eagles go-to part of the offense, right? Being the run. That's what the Eagles want to do. They want to be able to just run the ball, and win the game. Keep the ball away from the other team. And if they don't have to throw a pass over 5 yards, over 10 yards, that is playing Eagles football, until you trailing and things aren't working out, then Jalen Hurts has to make a play. It's like, what can anybody say about Jalen Hurts now?
Another crazy.
How can anyone argue Jalen Hurts isn't an elite quarterback? You cannot argue that Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback anymore.
Man, people is literally telling me today, man, he's just a glorified running back. I'm like, this man hasn't lost a game in 365 days.
Right.
Another crazy stat from, I don't know if you saw this, another crazy stat from today was Jalen Hurts had -1 passing yards in the first half and ended the game with 226. So he threw for 226 in the second half.
In the second half is when he understood it was time to win the game. The pressure's on, we're losing. The first half was absolutely horrible, right? And we're going to hear from A.J. Brown and understand what they're talking about. Playing conservative in that first half, they don't really agree with the play calling and, all the weapons they have on the team, and they're being so conservative. They want the rest of the season from the beginning of the game to the end to look like the second half. And maybe that's how it
should look, man. They spreading the ball around, everybody getting the ball, man. I like that second. Well, of course, I like the second half because that was a great comeback. But yeah, I did like that offense. Definitely need to open up, man. Let AJ eat. He got his 100-yard game today, man, and it looked great when he got the ball in his hand.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this was the perfect game, man. It's like the Eagles trailed, like you said, they trailed the game from the first quarter all the way to the fourth quarter. Trailed the game all the way to the fourth quarter. And then that fourth quarter, like we talked about, when it mattered most. And the Eagles offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo, is that how you say his name? Kevin Patullo, man, he understands the strengths and the weaknesses in his players. And he understands Jalen Hurts' strengths and he understands Jalen Hurts' weakness. And in that fourth quarter, I seen the Eagles, man, they opened up the offense, but Kevin Patullo, he ran simple route concepts on the outside with A.J. Brown, so Jalen Hurts can get him the ball easily, you know what I mean? And then when it was zone coverage, Jalen Hurts simply took the checkdowns. Positive plays, 5-6 yards. Those check down add up in coverage. I mean, in zone coverage, like cover 2, cover 3, and things like that. So it's like the Eagles understand how to play to their player strength. And that's the difference. That is the difference. Because you see a lot of offensive coordinators out here, they're calling plays to their likeliness and what they like. And you should be calling the plays to the player's strength. Like Kevin Patullo is doing for Jalen Hurts. You know, he called all the plays to Jalen Hurts' strength. On the outside, when it's man-to-man coverage, he has very simple route reads, you know, a 10-yard hitch, 10-yard comeback route when it's man-to-man coverage. Just throw the ball on time, get it out there, you know. Build a system around the quarterback. Don't expect the quarterback to have to adjust and execute some system that you have made up and been stuck on for years, you know, and that coaches get caught up in their system and thinking, you know, you need to play in my system, right? Now, like I said, man, after the game, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, man, they spoke with reporters and they had, you know, pretty much the same energy about the offense, about our offense being conservative and not opening up, being that they have all these awesome players on offense and you know, all these weapons. And it doesn't sound like AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts agree with the conservative offensive play calling. And they want the offense, like I said, to look like it looked today in the fourth quarter. So let's check AJ Brown out, hear what he has to say.
Personally, I truly believe, man, we got so many good players on this team, you know, and at times, you know, you can feel like we're being conservative, and I don't think it should be like that, you know. I think it should, you know, let your killers do their thing, you know, and play fast and play aggressive. I'm not saying that we haven't been, but you know, me personally, that's what I would like, you know. Obviously, we're gonna run the ball and we're gonna set up the run off the pass and the pass off the run, but you know, we have a lot of good players and we should just let it go, you know. So,
and we all understand, man, AJ Brown is a diplomatic type of guy, man. You know, understand he's saying, you know, you're gonna run the ball, you're gonna throw the pass off the run and run the ball off the pass and things like that. But he's trying, you know, he's being conservative as possible by trying to express his feelings about, you know, let the star players get loose, get us the ball, feed us the football, you know. And it doesn't seem like AJ Brown want to be a distraction or anything like that to the team. But he said he understands that this team should be producing way much better than what they're producing, like they showed in the second half. And Jalen Hurts had the same interview. Jalen Hurts spoke up and pretty much was saying the same thing, how beautiful it was in the second half. The first half didn't look so great, you know, and then he was like, you know, it was being a little conservative. And then the second half, he turned it on. So it's something brewing around there about the, you know, how the team is being ran. You know, the coach, the leader, the head ninja in charge understands how to win. Players sometimes are biased because we have our own selfish goals and accolades and things we want to accomplish. But at the end of the day, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In the first half, it did look broke. It looked a lot broke. It looked just totally broken, you know. And second half, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you about the Rams' last drive. So Rams got a chance with the ball to come back and take the lead after the Eagles took the lead in the fourth quarter, and Stafford went to Puka 5 straight times on the corner to Bennett, and Bennett allowed 5 straight catches. Man, how you feel about Bennett corner and his play?
Well, actually, man, I think, you know, all the cornerbacks, man, they did a really good job out there against the Rams, man. I feel like the Eagles cornerbacks played a really good game, man. I feel like Quinyon Mitchell, Reed Blankenship, and Jacorian Bennett, right? I think they forced Stafford to complete passes with tight coverage, you know, and that was a problem for Matthew Stafford. They played tight coverage all night. In the fourth quarter, he gave up a little bit, right? You know, in the fourth quarter, you understand the game is on the line. It's hard to be as aggressive as you want because you understand one mess up, the game is over, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be your fault. But you know, besides, you know, him giving up 5 straight catches to Puka Nacua in the fourth quarter, I think, you know, those cornerbacks played a very solid game. You know, at the end of the day, you know. You know, so I think it was pretty cool. But I'm giving the player of the game, man. I'm giving the player of the game to who? Y'all know who the player of the game goes to. The play of the game, not the player of the game. The play of the game goes to AJ Brown. Woo! When A.J. Brown, grown man, boy, he strong arm Darius Williams in the fourth quarter on that third down. Ooh, that was grown man style, boy.
That's why you gotta feed him. You gotta feed him.
You gotta feed him. That's what he's saying. Give me the ball. You know, if A.J. Brown doesn't make that play on that long third down, the Eagles' chances of winning, man, it goes down to like 2%.
Yeah.
It goes down to 2%. That's how valuable A.J. Brown is, man. And you know, to have him so frustrated over that, it's like it made me think, you know, that he had to sit on the sideline and read those books to stop him from losing his mind and not understanding like why I'm not getting the football. I'm this great football player, but they refuse to give me the football. Let me read this book so I can calm down a little bit because we're winning, but they're not giving me the football and I can't figure it out. So I know things like that probably plays with athletes' mind, you know what I mean?
Great things happen when you give A.J. Brown the ball, man.
Right.
Feed him.
Great things happen, you know. But yeah, like that play against A.J. Brown and Darius Williams, man, as a cornerback, this is the type of play we never want to happen. This is the type of play we 100% are trying to avoid from having. Because if it happens to you, you expect this play to be on ESPN for the entire week. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And then they on ESPN talking greasy about you. Look at A.J. Brown, little boy, Darius Williams, or look at A.J. Brown, just straight grown man, take the ball away. Man, it's the highlight of the game. So as a cornerback, that's why cornerback is one of those sensitive positions, man. It's like you're on the island. When they say you're on the island, it's no one but you and him. This is what they mean. Because you're single out as mano, and may the best man win. You know,
is cornerback the hardest position in it to play?
100%. 100% besides quarterback because of the responsibilities the quarterback got. Mm-hmm. But as far as playing the position, you know, as far as athletic ability go and things like that, 100%. You know, quarterback just has too many responsibilities. They have several responsibilities they have to watch out for, right? Yeah. So they have the protections, they have to worry about the blitz, they have to know which player, every route they're running on which defense, you know. So that's the difference between the hardest two positions on the football field.
All right.
But A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith versus Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. That was a pretty good matchup, man. That was a pretty good matchup. But I think at the end of the day, it was the Eagles cornerbacks that did the better job holding them down out there, man. They had to go against Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. And Devontae was trying Quinyon Mitchell, man. He got some speed. He run with them receivers. Play that tight coverage.
Mm-hmm.
I think A.J. Brown, man. A.J. Brown is he's showing Howie, man. He doesn't want to get traded. He's showing like, man, hey, listen, Howie, I know my time is coming up next, and I know I'm possibly on the trade block, but this ain't the time to trade me. I'm still showing you, Howie, that I'm a valuable asset to this team, and Jalen Hurts, he needs me. You know, so don't you trade me, Mr. Howie, because without me, things will get a little tricky over here, you know?
Definitely. We need that dog. We feed him in them times, man. You see what happened in that third down. We need him for exactly those times.
Yeah. And not only because of the third downs, I think at the end of the day, A.J. Brown is a comfort zone for Jalen Hurts, right? Mm-hmm. You know, things is, you know, getting tight and getting tense. The game is on the line. He feels comfortable throwing the ball to A.J. Brown, no matter what the route is, what the coverage is. And I think he needs, you know, as a quarterback, you need that to feel comfortable. So we'll see, man. A.J. Brown got I think he has it's reported I think they reported he has $4 million guaranteed in his salary next year, but the whole salary is not guaranteed. So, you know, if they don't redo the contract and he end up with a new deal, probably 9 times out of 10, they're going to end up trying to trade A.J. Brown. But like you say, man, he's a very valuable asset. So we'll see how this goes, man. I put it out there because this is how Howie moves. You know, check his track record. That's how Howie gets down, man. He doesn't want to hold players for long, talking about, you know, let me just cut the player. He'd rather get some to get some value. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So AJ Brown, he showed up tonight though. He definitely showed up today, man.
Need more of that.
I can't say enough about them Eagles cornerbacks. The Eagles cornerbacks, man, they played really good ball, man. They was a big part of this victory today. That tight coverage against the Ram wide receivers. Then Matthew Stafford, man. Matthew Stafford, another long tenure quarterback doing his thing, still playing at an elite level, man. You can't say enough about Matthew Stafford. So it won't be surprised, man. You think these two teams will play again in the playoffs and have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be surprised because I think Rams is really a top team, especially in the NFC. So they will definitely be in the playoffs, and they might meet again.
You know what they say, man? It's hard to beat a team twice, man. So it gets scary playing a team that you already played in the regular season. That was a very tough task, and then you have to play them again in the playoffs. Man, I hated that, man. It was like when I played for New England Patriots, and we would play the Indianapolis Colts in the regular season, and it would always be our toughest game, right? Then come the playoffs, we played them again, and it's like we always had to play each other because we were both in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl, and it was like, man, when you come down to the last 3, 4, 5 games of the season, they start coming up with the schedules for the playoffs and things like that, right? So it was like I'm looking at the schedule, and every year, I'm like, come on, please, we don't have to play the Colts. Please play. And then if the Colts have to play someone before we play them, I'm like, y'all, please beat the Colts, man. Please, I don't want to have to play the Colts, man. They
felt the same way about y'all, too.
The same way. I know. Everybody probably feel that way about each other, man. You just it's how it go, man. And it's competing in the NFL level, man. But the Cowboys versus the Chicago Bears, man. Whoa, man, the Cowboys. Woo. They are
the Cowboys cowboying right now, man.
Man, the Dallas Cowboys just need to throw the whole team away, the whole organization. Start with Jerry Jones. He needs to sell it and everything, man. Just forfeit the whole season because they look just pathetic out there. The Cowboys look absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I picked them to win today too, and that game surprised me.
That was foolish. No matter who they playing, man. This team is out of whack, man. Like I say, throw the whole team away. And I know everyone gave Jerry Jones a hard time about trading Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons wouldn't have done anything for the Cowboys. He wouldn't did Cowboys any justice if he was out there on the football field for them today. You know, the whole football community thought that was a terrible decision by Jerry Jones, in which it was not. That was really a good decision. And then him going out there to sign George Pickens sounded like a good idea. Now you find out that's a waste of time. Everything Jerry Jones doing is a waste of time. The team is so sorry now. I don't know how he can even stir some controversy up and make anyone want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys at this point. The only thing anybody will be saying is how terrible and trash Dallas Cowboys is. And I'm sure Jerry Jones don't want people around here just saying that. He wants someone to talk about, things that gets them in the media and makes them look good, keep the marketing dollars rolling, And then the Cowboys defense, man, the Cowboys defense, that is the worst unit on the team. That defense is horrible. Thank God they got rid of Micah Parsons. He would have wasted this man's career if he would have signed him to a 4-year deal. It would have been a wasted career, And Trayvon Diggs, he has lost all his abilities since his injuries. Trayvon Diggs at cornerback, he's out there just doing whatever he wanted to do. He isn't helping the Cowboys' cause on defense at all. And he got benched. He got benched after giving up a 40-yard go route for a touchdown. They are terrible over there.
It wasn't even no move at the line. It literally just simply just went. He jabbed, missed him.
He was trying to do the Deion stance, man. You have to really perfect that stance if you want to use that and make sure that you don't miss or you're prepared if things don't go right. Because if they don't go right, as you can see, there's nobody behind to help. That's on ESPN, man. But could you imagine if Michael Parsons was still on the team and they was doing as bad as they was doing? You know, Michael Parsons, he doesn't shut up for nobody. He loves to run his mouth. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I could only imagine the malarkey we would be hearing from Michael Parsons if he was on this team, you know, and him blaming this person or him talking about, you know, the morale of the team and no one is enthusiastic or he's the only one who wants to play hard and all type of stuff will be going on, you know.
And Michael Parsons come back home next week, and I guarantee getting 2 sacks on deck.
2 sacks, man. He's gonna be fired up. He's going to be more intense for this game than he's ever been for any game he's ever played for in the NFL. You mark my word. Watch how intense he is out there, man. He's going to be hyped up.
I can't wait to see that.
But you hear when I say Cowboys need to throw the whole team away. Do you understand what I mean by they need to throw the whole team away?
What that mean?
What I mean by the Cowboys need to throw the whole team away is the Cowboys will have a losing season for the next 3 to 5 years.
Sheesh.
Next 3 or 5 years, the Cowboys will have losing seasons. That's why they need to throw the whole team away. Throw the whole team away and figure out another team. Just watch. I'm telling you.
It's time for a rebuild.
Yeah, a total rebuild, not just a rebuild, like a total rebuild. Because this team has too many problems, man. Too many problems on offense, too many problems to fix on defense. You know, and you can't fix all these problems in one draft or in free agency, It takes time, and then it takes time to understand the players, how to build the team around certain players. And then you're looking at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is already getting old. You know, he's already starting to look old and, you know, like he's trending down, you know? So he would need to be replaced soon, you know? And then out of the defense, like I said, the worst unit on the team, out of 11 players on defense, they need at least 8 new players. Out of 11 players, they need at least 8 new players on defense. That's why I say just simply throw the whole team away. It's a waste of time.
Dang, they got to start a rebuild with the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
With the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, you got to start a rebuild. And that's why I say just throw the whole team away because you continue to try to add players and think this, you know, you think you need a need at this position, so you add this player. The whole time is, you know, while you're adding these players, your quarterback is not getting any better. He's going backwards, you know. He's degressing. He's degressing. So I think the best bet for the Cowboys is, man, you just kind of figure out a way to rebuild, trade off all your best players, and start to rebuild this team. That's the only way. I'm tired of the Cowboys doing the same thing over and over every year and being the laughing stock of the NFL. It's not even exciting to talk about the Cowboys this year because it's the 3rd week and they're already super sorry. It's like you're gonna be super sorry for 12 and 14 more weeks. Like, that's not fun. That's not fun, right?
Ain't nothing gonna change with the same owner GM.
It's nothing gonna change. Nothing gonna change. But all right, man, moving right on, man. So another great game, man. The Packers versus the Browns. This one came down to the wire as well, man. The Cleveland Browns won in the nail biter against this talented Green Bay Packers team, man. Green Bay Packers may be one of the most talented teams in the NFL besides the Eagles. I think the Green Bay Packers has a pretty good stick. And like I said, this game came down to the wire, and Jordan Love had an opportunity to win the game with the last possession of the game. Of course, the Packers goes out and plays terrible. Since I predicted they would win the Super Bowl. Why y'all do me like that, Packers? Yeah. You know, y'all could at least waited one more week to go out here and play terrible. I'm just giving y'all praise and talking about how great y'all look and stuff like that. But the problem with the Packers is Jordan Love. Jordan Love is going to destroy the Packers' chance to get to the Super Bowl or maybe even the playoffs. You know, this guy is out here, man. This guy try to complete any pass anywhere on the football field. He doesn't care. He's not allergic to any pass out there. You run a route and you're around 3 defenders, he think he fit the ball in there. He throw it up. You know, he doesn't care if it's a high percentage pass or a low percentage pass. He would throw it to you. He'll throw it to you, Drees. Go out there and run a out and up.
He throw it to me. He throw it to the deep.
He gonna launch it to you, you know.
Hey, man, he threw it to the defense too. He gave the Browns a chance to come back and win the game. Throwing that interception.
Exactly. And I think, like I said, man, this is a very talented Packers team. They have a Super Bowl caliber type team, and these type of teams don't come around too often. So you have to seize the moment when you have this team and head coach Matt LaFleur. How I say his name? I'm saying it right. I know he's an intense type of guy, man, and I know he feels and he can see it. He's like they say when I watch him on the sideline, he's always intense and screaming at somebody. So, you know, I think they got the right coach in place, but that quarterback, Jordan Love, I thought Jordan Love had that it factor in him watching him last year and thinking, you know, he will progress. One thing I'm noticing about these quarterbacks in the NFL these days, they're like Tom Brady was talking about, there's no development. Once the quarterback enters the NFL, that's who he is. He never seems to progress and get better. These quarterbacks are not progressing and becoming better quarterbacks. They're staying level or going backwards, you know? I mean, that's what it seemed like with Jordan Love. Jordan Love doesn't look like he made any progress at all. He's very content with throwing the ball up, you know, 50-50 balls or just low percentage passes, you know? And there's a very small window. There's a very small window for talented teams to win the Super Bowl. So I want to see the Packers, man, get it together. But they was playing the Cleveland Browns. So y'all know what we talked about with the Cleveland Browns and the things we expect. The Cleveland Browns got them a victory. Clap it up for the Cleveland Browns. They got them a victory. Got them a victory finally. I know that took a lot of
Cleveland Browns winning today. Did that buy Joe Flacco some more time?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if they bought him a little time. I know that made Kevin Stefanski happy finally, you know, get your first victory of the season. That always trumps pretty much anything that's going on. A win is a win, but I don't know, man. It seems like the Browns is ready for change. Something is ready for change up there, you know? And, I don't know if this buys more time because Flacco didn't do anything to really contribute to this win. You know, he barely contributed to this win besides, you know, getting the ball from the center. You know,
so that's all he did today was get the ball from the center.
You know, I mean, Flacco ain't really, he didn't put any points on the board for the Cleveland Browns. So what use is to have him? What use is there to have him out there at quarterback? He's not putting up any points.
Next they got the Lions, man. Is this the time where they make the move?
We're waiting to see. Everybody's waiting to see. I don't know unless Kevin Stefanski feel like, you know, this team has a chance at the playoffs. You know, why isn't he putting Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders in the game to get the experience, you know, they need for the future? You know, unless he feels like this team is going to the playoffs, there's no reason for him to continue to do this Flacco stuff. And a win is a win. But you cannot look at that film as a coach when you're breaking film down or evaluating these plays and players and feel like Joe Flacco contributed to this team, to this win. You can't feel like that. You can't feel like you have to look at the film and say, if I had another quarterback in there, we would get so much more done. We'd be times 2 productive as what we was. You know what I mean? Like the production would be times 2. That's how he has to feel watching this film.
Because that Brown defense dominated today. They had 5 sacks, forced turnovers, blocked field goals. They really won the game today. Defense.
Yeah,
so shout out to that Browns. You said it was one of the most physical teams on defense, and they showed it today. They was right at Jordan Love all day long.
Yeah, start with Myles Garrett, man. They have a really good front four, man. That's how you start, you know, your defense, you know. But at the same time, man, I got to give credit when credit is due, right? Kevin Stefanski, man, if he can show he can win without an elite quarterback, he's the man. He's the man, right? If he can win without an elite quarterback because they have a great defense, a really good defense, then I'm going to give him the credit that he deserves because Joe Flacco is not really doing anything. So if he can win with Joe Flacco and somehow get this team to the playoffs, big ups to Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, they did it. They did a good job running the ball today as well too. So like running the ball, playing defense, keep you in the game.
That's how you keep yourself in the game and play mistake-free football. That's the recipe for success. You know what I mean? But I haven't looked at the stats yet. Like I said, but I know the Browns have, one of the top defenses in the NFL. If it's not the top defense, like we talked about, those 4 teams: the Rams, the Browns, and the Eagles. Am I missing one? Who's it for? The Rams, the Browns, the Eagles, and the Chargers. Oh no, the Packers. The Packers. Those 4 teams right now. I imagine one of them are the top defense in the NFL. And they're playing good. I ain't looked at the stats, but I think one of those teams has a top defense. And then the Quinshawn Judkins, Quinshawn Judkins, right? The rookie running back. Man, he brought some freshly needed energy, man, on the offense. Which was tremendously needed in that game. So, shout out to him. He was going through
that's a sign, right? That's a sign right there. Let the young guys spin.
Yeah, man. I see you in the chat talking about the Browns got lucky today. Yeah, they did get a little lucky today, man. That's what I talk about with football. You need a little luck on your side sometimes. When you have those good teams, you need a little luck on your side. It's any given Sunday, anything can happen. It's hard to just go out there and just say, I'm going to win every week. You need a little luck. You need a few blessings to drop down out of the sky,
Yeah, it was the Packers O-lineman. One of the O-linemen is like earlier this week, he said, yeah, we could go undefeated this year. Right. He said that a week 2. Him saying that, man, he jinxed them.
It's Jordan Love, bro. Jordan Love is the X factor, man. I don't know if they can get anything with Jordan Love. Jordan Love, man, he needs some mentorship at quarterback. But he just stopped slinging the ball left and right.
They got a good chance to win the NFC North. Them and the Lions.
Yeah, we'll see. But Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, they just finished up the game. Who did they play again? It wasn't Delaware. It was
Wyoming.
Yeah, Colorado Buffaloes against Wyoming. I don't know the mascot. But Wyoming, man. So let's talk about this game, man. And Coach Prime, we all know he started the game with Caden Salter at quarterback. Caden Salter started the game and he finished the game. And seems like Coach Prime has found his quarterback for the season. Unless Caden Salter plays super awful somewhere down the line, he will be the starter for the rest of the season. And unfortunately, this is Caden Salter's last season of college eligibility, so he won't be playing no more after this season. But for right now, you got to go out there and do what he needs to do for Colorado and Coach Prime, and he made some progress this game compared to that Delaware game where, he was pulled for Ryan Staub. And like I said, Colorado made tremendous progress on the opposite side of the ball this week. Caden threw for 304 yards passing and then 3 touchdowns. And those are some impressive numbers. It seems like some impressive numbers, right? To throw for, right?
Right.
But Caden Salter could have easily threw for 400 plus yards and 5 touchdowns. And the score could have been like 51-20 instead of 37-20 because he missed a lot of big plays out there, right? But it's a big step in the right direction. And we rarely see good teams without a legit quarterback like we're talking about with the Cleveland Browns. You rarely see good teams without a good quarterback. And that's why I say I would give Kevin Stefanski all the credit he deserves if he can lead that team to the playoffs, because Coach Prime is dealing with the same issue. He's trying to find that quarterback, right? And hopefully Caden Salter can take this momentum and confidence that he displayed against Wyoming and let it carry over to the game next week against BYU, because they are going to need it. BYU, they play that discipline, type of football. That's hard to beat.
That's definitely going to be a challenge for
him. And I can't say I've done a deep dive into Caden Salter's career at Liberty, but I felt like I saw enough to feel like Caden can make a difference for Coach Prime in Colorado. So I believe in Caden. I want to see him continue to progress. And process of elimination tell us that Caden Salter or Julian Lewis were the only two possibilities left for Coach Prime because Ryan Staub got his chance and he just isn't effective enough for the starting job. But he gave that slight inclination that, it was possible for him to be the man and take over the job after Caden couldn't do so good in that game, didn't do so good in that game against Delaware, But as I look at it and I process everything, that was like the first game of the season, right? Against Delaware, the second game of the season. Second game of the season, right? And Pat Schumer as the offensive coordinator coming from the NFL, right? What it looked like to me right now as the weeks continue to go by is those first two games were the preseason game. Pat Schumer's, he has to get all the wrinkles and get the rust out of his play calling, and that's what was happening in the first two games. So the rust is gone, and Caden Salter had to deal with that issue. So that's why he didn't look like he was supposed to look, because Pat Schumer was still in preseason mode and he had to knock the rust off. So Caden Salter is looking better, much better. He don't have to worry about throwing too many bubble screens and things like that. And now he can get the shake and get to working like he was at Liberty, But
Caden, he was attacking downfield.
Exactly. That was the difference. It's like I say, he wasn't concentrating on throwing bubble screens or screens left and right. It was more of getting the ball down the field and not getting the ball behind the line of scrimmage, But Caden played in spurts, man. He plays in spurts, but his consistency is not like where it needs to be as of right now. Like I said, maybe after playing these, this last couple games, he may pick it up a little bit, specifically to start the game. He really starts the game it's really too slow. They start the game too slow with Caden at quarterback, But after a few series in the game, he started to pick it up. But can't start off that slow, especially against BYU, And if, like I said, if he makes three of those passes that, was incomplete, man, it was like bombs, man. Colorado wins by 30 or more points. But
man, it's gonna be a big test this week versus BYU. It's a big difference from playing Wyoming. So we're gonna see like where he really is playing against that BYU defense.
Is he the quarterback for the rest of the year, playing against that BYU defense? But it was good for him to get those reps against Wyoming so he could feel comfortable, because, against Georgia Tech and Delaware, it was like he couldn't find his, couldn't get comfortable, right? He couldn't, start feeling himself. You got to feel yourself out there. You got to feel that swag. Got to be pouring through your veins. You got to feel like you're him at all times. Once you start feeling like you're not him or you lose that confidence, man, everything just goes downhill, right? But like you said, Colorado, man, they got to start fast against BYU, man. If they want to give themselves a chance to win or not be down by 21 points, they're going to have to go out there and start fast, or things will get out of control fast, right? But Coach Prime is pretty adamant, man. Coach Prime is pretty adamant that Pat Schumer is the man for the job at offensive coordinator. Despite the critics, how they feel and things like that. Coach Prime has Pat Schumer's back, and he has his back the long way. So let's listen to Coach Prime talk about Pat Schumer.
Let's talk about Pat tonight. Where that went? Anybody? All right. Oh, it's gone for a week, for at least a week, right? But when we execute, it's a beautiful thing. When we don't, it's going to be blame assessed. So, and I understand that life. I've been in this sports world for a long time, but I'm thankful that you got to see some wonderful plays that he's capable of making. You got to see some wonderful calls that was made from the top. You got to see some wonderful execution that was
made from the top
by the offensive line as well as the backs. They ran their butts off, and I'm proud of them.
Hey, we know Coach Prime gonna pop his pop the shit now. You know what I mean? Coach Prime always keep them receipts, man. One thing about Coach Prime been in the media for so long, been in the sports world for so long. But first thing, he couldn't wait to get on the podium and say, "I don't hear nothing about Pat Shermer now." Pat Schumer. All I know is about Pat Schumer. It's like, hey, I shut y'all up this week. Y'all might get me next week, but I shut y'all up. You got to get it in where you can, man.
Right.
Man, you'll be a sitting duck, just sitting there, just taking it all day long. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I will give Pat Schumer some credit, man. I will say those bubble screens are ran much more efficient now than they were in that Delaware game. So he did make the necessary adjustments to fix that problem. So big up Pat Schumer and, you know, making adjustments and getting better, you know. And I also see, like you said, Pat Schumer he has the offense attacking down the field more, which is a big difference compared to how he used to run his offense in the past, right? You know, I don't know if when Shador was there, if Shador was calling the plays or he was, you know, Shador was letting them know what type of plays he wanted to run. But, you know, a lot of Shador passes was down the field. I don't know if that was a confidence, a comfortability thing or what, but I want to see what do y'all think, man? Anybody understand why Juju Lewis hasn't played yet or why we haven't seen him? Is it something going on? Is he upset behind the scenes? Is he talking about hitting the transfer portal? Does him and Coach Prime have a beef or something? Like, what is going on with Juju Lewis? Did he take a red shirt that I don't know about? I'm missing or something? But
I think he'll be the starter next year. I don't think he's going to transfer. I think he's going to stay there with Colorado. But this year is for Salsa's going to finish out this year.
Yeah, but it's like you don't give him no reps. Like, you know, he don't get no reps. You know, like that was just a little suspicious to me, man. I hope everything is okay because he's a 5-star, and I think he has some talent. He reminds me of Caden Salter. It's like it's hard to tell the difference, to be honest with you, between Caden Salter and Juju Lewis. So, you know, but yeah, tomorrow night, man, we got the Baltimore Ravens versus who they play, the Buffalo
Detroit
Bills?
Lions.
Detroit Lions is going to be a pretty good game. Two good teams that used to play good defense. I don't know if the Baltimore Ravens still playing good defense, but you know, we'll see, man.
I think it's a good test for both of them to see where they both are. Really, you know, it's still early in the season. You're not really sure because you see, the first week the Lions started off slow, couldn't move the ball. The second week they was able to move the ball, so kind of get like a more understanding of who the teams really are. Week 3.
Yeah, we'll see. Sunday night vibes, man. Sunday night vibes, man. Fly, Eagles, fly, man. We Eagles till we die, man. Y'all see, man. The Eagles gonna represent, man. The Packers, man, they took a step back today. The Browns, you know, the Browns got a really physical defense, so they're always gonna have a chance, no matter who they put at quarterback. But I think, you know, the team will just be more enthusiastic with a young gunner back there, you know. And who else, man? Who else has the potential out here, man? It's not too many good teams. It's a very select few. And I don't even know if we should still continue to put the Kansas City Chiefs in that category. But at the same time, you can never count Patrick Mahomes out, man, because, you know, I said he's maybe taking a step backwards, but he ain't took a step all the way backwards. That was just one game, you know, just one game, 1 year. He can find the swag back and get it back sooner or later. But
I'm confident of that. You said, but Chat, I hope the Chat took the notes. He said they not making the playoffs. Y'all heard that, right, Chat?
I heard that, right? I said the Kansas City Chiefs, this may be the first season the Kansas City Chiefs may not make the playoffs. Yes, sir. I said that. And I also said that the Dallas Cowboys need to throw the whole team away. They will be a losing team. They will have losing seasons for the next 3 to 5 seasons. So just might as well throw the whole team away, start rebuilding, starting, you know, somewhere. And like I said, Dak Prescott, even though you just signed him to a new deal, he's getting older and he's not going to be a part of the new winning team whenever the Cowboys win again. So just get rid of the whole team. Start fresh. You know what I mean? But it's Sunday night vibes, man. It was fun rocking out with y'all tonight, man, watching these games, and we're going to see y'all tomorrow night. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. That's
your boy, 2-3 Drees.
We're going to see y'all tomorrow night, baby. We are out.
Yes, sir.